everybody.
Hey guys.
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing, man?
Look at
Let me
that
see.
little screwball right there.
Margaret brought a friend.
I brought
Yeah,
a
I
little
see
friend.
that.
This is Kimmy.
Hi, Kimmy.
She's 18
What's going
months old.
on?
She's a Jack Russell. She's stubborn. There we go. I think that looks better.
There we go.
We're going to have a pretty good
Say
show tonight.
bye.
Show tonight, we're going to talk about dealing with tough dogs. What I mean by that, by a lot of people call them stubborn. A lot of people don't know what they're getting into when they get a rescue dog. Remember, people, if you get a rescue dog from a rescue organization, a lot of them just want to place that dog. A lot of them will tell you all the good things and not tell you the bad things. If you rescue a dog out of a shelter, a lot of times they don't know anything about that dog's background. Well,
Yeah, history.
tonight we're going to tell you the things to look for in a rescue dog, whether it be from your animal shelter or a rescue organization. And I have one thing to add here. I may add it a little bit later in the show. I want to bring up a very reputable trainer that used to be my training manager, if you guys don't mind. She's outstanding. Her name is Hope. But I'm going to get the ball rolling as far as this show. I'm going to have Brian start this one off.
All right. So, yeah, I started out working at the Ellis County SPCA, just our local SPCA here in Waxahachie, Ellis County. And unfortunately,
In Texas, right, Brian?
yeah, in Texas, here in
There
Texas.
you go.
And so many dogs, get abandoned or dropped off because of bad behavior issues. And then this rescue will try to adopt these dogs out, but might not know the complete history behind these dogs. And it takes a special hand sometimes to deal with some of these traumas that have already happened in these dogs' lives. Some signs, barking, running, fleeing, those are signs of common trauma. Howling, pacing back and forth. Through working with basic obedience, we can work on desensitizing these dogs and then using positive reinforcement to back up these commands. Bob might be able to expound on this a little bit better than I have because he's the one that taught me all about this. We put these dogs in situations, we control that situation and make it to where it's fun for the dog versus being scared of that situation.
Margaret?
Yes.
All you, girl.
I can't hear you. I guess your audio is.
Oh, no, it's not.
There he goes. He flipped
It's
it
all
up.
you, girl.
There we go.
I had to pull my Shania Twain headset down.
Whoa.
It's all you. Sorry.
Tell me.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, what Brian was starting to talk about, and I'm sure you were probably going to go into, like fear, aggression, and what type signs are there when a dog is in fear. When dogs are scared of something, they're going to take fight or flight. We almost do the same thing, So when they're scared of something, you'll see that if they're going to take fight, they're kind of going to look a little like, what is that? But then the hackles on the back of their neck are going to go up. They're going to take a stance and bark at it because they think maybe if I act strong, I can make it go away because I don't know what you are.
Right.
And again, another good sign that, Margaret, now that you bring that up, is barking. It can be showing teeth, standing a little bit sideways, but that tail is tucked right between its legs.
Right.
Yep. And then we go on the other side of the fear of the flight. You ever gone over to a friend's house where you never see the dog? It goes, zoom into another room, or it goes zoom underneath the couch or under a chair, or, around the corner.
Or jump on the couch and hug the owner.
That's
another one.
Hold me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Protect me, mom. That's the security.
I used to. I remember I pet sat in North Carolina at home that had he bred dachshunds, and they would just be in his house. You know, they were his pets. You know, they he was a responsible breeder, but he didn't really have many people coming over his house. So whenever I go pet sit, I hear them barking, barking, barking. I would hardly ever see them because they go on the other side of the couch. And I would
Yeah,
just go get the food and change this, change that, da, 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 you know, and I would hardly ever see that. It was the most hysterical thing. I'd be like, bye. And then,
Invisible pets.
yeah, they were
yeah,
just, they were, you know, afraid of different people. So they took the flight mode.
right.
So,
I
So
uh I spoke to Margaret about this dog that I'm dealing with. Uh, Lady rescued it. It came from out of state. It's a little itty bitty dog. It's part border collie, very smooth coat, not a real big dog. It's got a couple other crosses in it. When I first walked in the house, this dog's tail was tucked and ran behind the owners. Um, she wants to use it as a therapy dog, bring it to an Alzheimer's ward where she volunteers. And she says, "Are you able to do it?" And I said, "Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really got into them yet." So the first lesson, the tail was still tucked. The dog would not get close to me. We worked a simple command to sit, stay on the first lesson. Dog did real good. I was able to walk around the dog. Dog didn't move. I did not handle this dog at that point because the dog was already stressed out for being around me. I had the owners do everything because the last thing I want to do is stress a dog out. The second lesson, I went over there and I wanted to see the sit stays. The people were able, we were down in their rec room and she put that dog at a down stay. I was in the room and I said, "All right, both you guys go upstairs. I'm going to see if you work this dog." That dog remained at a sit stay for over 5 minutes.
wow.
And I thought that was outstanding. So I know these people really wanted to achieve their goal in in creating a dog where she can bring it to work with her. So by the end of this third lesson, I was able to drop phone books around this dog while the people were away from it. Not completely upstairs. The dog can still see them, but they were about 10, 15 feet away. I walked around the dog banging on a pan, and every time the dog, I can read the dog, I can see he was getting a little bit worried, a little stressed. And I just had the lady very calmly tell the dog, "Good girl, stay." And she reassured the dog. The dog took that cue. I was able to sit next to the dog, and believe it or not, by the end of the lesson, the dog crawled up in my lap when I was sitting on the floor. It takes time, it
yeah.
takes reading the dog. I believe this dog is going to be a good one. The lady is just, she's hell bent on wanting this dog to work for her. I told her the best thing, I gave her 2 weeks off to do nothing but socialize that dog around people. Bring it to Walmart, bring it to PetSmart, bring it wherever. Walk it around. Every time someone comes in, reassure the dog everything's okay, but redirect it through an obedience command. Now, what that does, it goes, "Oh my God, I'm afraid." "Oh, hell, mom said stay." You know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
believe it or not, folks,
What
it
becomes more important?
it works. Um, it when you go look at a dog at a shelter or a rescue group, number one, if you have another dog,
Bring it with you.
bring it with you.
Yep.
Do not wait till you come home and introduce the two.
Right.
The other thing is watch the dog's mannerisms. If he seems very shy, that tail is tucked, if he may bark a little bit and he doesn't want to make friends with you, I mean, be careful of what you're getting. If you do happen to get a dog because you think it's a sweetie and he really needs a home, definitely find you a professional trainer. But before you find that trainer, research that trainer. Let me tell you this again, research the trainer because I have fixed so many dogs that trainers say, I can do that, I can do that, and they end up ruining the dog. And I have to fix it. It takes a special kind of trainer that knows what to do in reading a dog. If a dog acts afraid, you sweet talk it. You don't correct it. You talk it into things. You boo boo ba ba over that dog. You try to get that dog to feel comfortable with you. If it's fear aggression, I'm working with an Australian Shepherd. This dog wants to eat me. 100 miles an hour, but at the same time he's 100 miles an hour, he's blowing anal glands all over the living room. He's that bad.
Wow.
So I said, well, it's a make it or break it thing. I went out to my car. I put my bite suit on. I told the lady, hold him close, and I want you to go in your dining room. Now, the dog could still see mom. The dog sat there and just started shaking. He didn't come after me anymore. He was wondering, what do I do now? I didn't say a word to the dog. He sniffed my pants. I said, good boy, nice and calm. Sniffed my pants again. Good boy. I took a step away. The dog followed me. I said, good boy. Then all of a sudden, the dog freaked out, blew anal glands all over. And instead of coming at me, he tried bailing on the couch, doing backflips. It was terrible. I let go of the dog, the leash, and he just ran back to mom because I did. The dog was stressed to the max, and I didn't want him any more stressed. The longer I held on to that dog, the worse it was going to become. This training is going to take time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The average trainer that's up here in the Cleveland area, and believe me, I know a lot of these, and I'm going to say it, bozos that call themselves trainers. Oh, we got to put a pinch collar on them. Well, let's shock them. No, all they're doing is making matters worse.
Yep.
This has got to be done gradually.
Yep.
A good trainer will do it gradually.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sometimes the owners get ahead of themselves and want to practice more than what they're ready to practice. It's not to say that the dog can't do it once or twice, but it's not ready to do it consistently. And if you start jumping the gun, you're going to end up backtracking and it's going to end up costing you more money. It's
right? Well,
important to follow the trainer's recommendations.
the thing is, if I'd have held on to that dog and shortened up the leash and forced him to come to me, I'd have made that dog worse than what he was.
Right.
Way worse.
Yep.
People, if you want to rescue a dog and you're a little bit leery about it, I mean, I'm busy as all get out. If you're in the Lake
Yeah,
County,
talk to a
Ohio
trainer
area,
about it.
I will come
Give
out
me a
and help
call.
you. But I mean, I'm very busy. And speaking of me being swamped, and I mean, I'm swamped. My Saturdays, I don't even want to talk about evenings during the week. From 4 o'clock on, I'm booked solid, and I'm getting that way in the afternoons. I want to do a shout out, if you guys don't mind, to
Sure.
Hope. Hope owns a company called, I believe it's primarily Pups Training. She's a very good trainer. She used to be my head trainer. She went out on her own. She's fantastic with puppies. She's fantastic with dogs who are a little bit fearful. Hope's got a nice, sweet voice. She's been working with dogs a long, long, long time, and she's one hell of an accomplished trainer. Um, I would look Hope up, primarily pups training in Lake County, Ohio, and I guarantee this lady will help you. Because to be honest, folks, with dealing with puppies, it takes a special kind of person. Um, I would help you, but I'm loaded. I got to put people off for training right now. I'm that busy. So, thank you for the time, guys, for letting me give a shout out to Miss Hope. Yeah, primarily pups training. There you go, and she'll help you. If you need her phone number, I am not going to put it online. Please request it and put it on our Rockin' Dogs email. I believe it's rockindogs11 at gmail.com. And we will be happy to give you Hope's phone number. Thank you, guys. Now back to the show. Brian, what else you have to add
Sure.
there, buddy?
So, I mean, a lot of these dogs that are in these shelters are going through post traumatic stress disorder, not like somebody coming back from the military or uh, who's had a bad experience in life. There are triggers that are going to cause these reactions. And as a person owning a dog who's been traumatized, you need to learn to recognize those triggers so that we can train and address those triggers. Make sure that you have a safe space, that your dog has a safe space to go to. A kennel is a very important part of training a dog. You need to make sure that that dog knows that it has its own spot that it can go to and have calm and peace and a little bit of free time.
Feel
Um,
safe.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Mhm. Exactly. And
Yep.
if your dog is afraid of, say, thunderstorms, and he comes up on the couch with you, timing of your praise is
Matters.
it really matters. So if he's up there with you and you're petting him and you're going, "It's okay, buddy. It's okay." What's he hearing? He's hearing praise tone. So it's like you're condoning the behavior. You're praising him for him being scared. So as hard as it may be, I mean, I've seen thunder shirts work really well for that type of fear. And, just you got to kind of ignore him when he's acting that way. And then when he acts stronger, you praise him for that. You know,
As far like another, I want to add to what Margaret was saying. A lot of people, like the people were like, I'm going to go back to what I was saying, the first little dog that the people want to use it for a therapy dog. All it took, the lady didn't go up to the dog and pet it. She was still 15, 20 feet away from this dog. All she said was, good boy, stay. But she repeated that obedience command. And believe it or not, that dog locked eyes with her, and that was it. It it was done. Like mom said, stay. It's gonna be all right. She's
mhm.
not getting excited. Okay, so I guess everything's gonna be okay.
That's the benefit of basic obedience training.
Yeah,
Like you're turning chaos into structure.
yeah,
And then that um, praise and that reinforcement is just like a little kid going to the dentist office.
yeah.
They give you a sucker when you're all done to show you that, hey, that wasn't such a bad experience. You
Right,
are going to look forward to this next time.
right.
Yeah. And if
It,
mom is calm about it, you're going to
Right.
be calm. If mom's freaking out, oh my God, my baby. Oh
yeah,
no, you're going to start being like, holy hell, what's going on?
right. And
Um,
a lot of trainers we were talking about dealing with tough dogs. The name of this show was, ain't nothing too tough for us.
right.
There's
It
a
takes
way
time.
to deal with tough. There's a lot of different categories
Up to
when you say tough.
right.
It could be fear. It could be like Rottweilers. like mastiffs, smart as a whip, but bullheaded.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you got to come down like fire and brimstone 24 hours, but it all boils down to I'm not giving up. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to stay consistent. It may take time, but it will work. People, everything isn't a prong collar.
Right.
Everything isn't an e-collar. There's one trainer that I know, he knows how to work an e-collar, man. And the dog does not get traumatized. He does not blast the heck out of a dog,
Right.
but he knows how to use it properly. Unless you know how to use it properly, do not get one.
No.
Right.
Read my lips. Don't get a prong collar. Don't listen to your friend that says, put an e, get, you need a prong collar. And then you put it on them. It doesn't fit properly. You don't do no, it does no good. You're doing more harm than good. So unless you know how to do it, unless you studied with it, unless you know your dog definitely needs one, do not get one. Call somebody for help. You have
Exactly.
a dog that you rescued that you want to make part of your family. And the first thing you want to do if he gives you a hard time is giving back. Hell, I've heard of dogs,
That makes me
they've
so
been
mad.
given back 3, 4 times because the dog jumps constantly or play bites or tears things up. And all he's been is discipline, 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 and never shown what's expected. People, it's a child. And again, I'm going to say it. Like Margaret says, they don't have a computer chip in their head.
Right.
They have no idea what you want.
They need
Take
you to
your
stand in the
time.
gap with them.
Take your time. Show them what's expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change overnight. It's going to take work. It's going to take diligence. It's going to take consistency. If you don't have that time, don't get a dog.
Exactly.
Period.
It's an
Yeah.
act of love.
So,
Having a dog is an act of love.
again, what do we say? No bad dogs.
Bad.
Bad people that don't know what they're doing with their dog. Yeah,
Exactly.
I said it. I'll probably make enemies. I really don't give a shit.
Uh,
I really
there's a
Who
don't.
doesn't? I swear.
I talk to my clients the same way. What are you doing? I didn't show you to handle a leash that way.
Mm-hmm. You talk
You
to us
know,
that way too, and
because
we
if
benefit.
I don't keep testing my people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing my job. If I want to sit back and watch you screw up and then go to the next one, I did you no service. I'm there for you. I'm not there for the dog. I can give two shits what that dog can do for me. I got to get the dog doing it for you.
Mm-hmm.
In a
there's
good trainer, that is their goal. Period.
Yep.
there's a good quote by Albert Einstein that I like. It says, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." And I relate that to the world is not bad dogs destroying your home. It's bad people sitting there watching the destruction take place.
Right, and not knowing, not showing right from wrong. You show
Reach
right
out for
from wrong
help.
with your child.
You
Reach
can
out
even
for
have the
help.
best trained dog ever, and then you stop or it goes to a different home or a different owner, and they don't know how to work with the dog, and they don't enforce things. The dog's gonna just
Well,
And it's the same thing with owners. We're done with training, or we take a break and say, okay, I'll see you in 3 weeks, or it's bad weather, or something happened and the people are on vacation, and they let the things backslide.
yep.
You know, you can't. I don't care. You got that dog your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell it to do something, make things a way of life with that dog.
Yep.
That's all we're
repeat
saying, folks.
Repeated bad behaviors by the dog creates confidence in the dog's mind that it's okay to be that way.
And then it makes it more difficult to fix it again
Yep.
because he got away with it before.
Right.
You know?
And after seeing 2 or 3 owners give up, you really got a dog who thinks that, hey, I can beat anybody with these bad behaviors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's just people take your time. Watch what kind of dog you're getting. If you get a puppy, start training it from day one. I don't care what anybody says. Well, you got to wait till they're 12 weeks. Oh, you got to wait till they're 6. Tell them to kiss your butt. Start training that dog right from the day you get it.
Exactly.
And I'll argue that point with any trainer in the United States. They can call me right now. And
What's
this
your number?
this good, this good that, yes, this, go over here, give me, come on, man, sit, stay, good boy. I've been doing it that way for 42 years, and it works.
Just like you
What
both said.
changed all this shit about place here, touch, watch me, look at me? Well, that,
Begging
give me a break, man.
for the
I'm
dog's
sorry.
attention.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it. I've seen trainers out there what they accomplish in 6 weeks. I ain't toot my own horn, but what they try to accomplish in 6 weeks, I have dogs heel, sit, down, stay, and come on a leash consistently if the owners do what they're supposed to in 4 sessions.
Yep.
That's 4 hours. And if you can't complete that, man, I got dogs on their third lesson. Let's go outside. Let's work up and down the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with board and trains, my typical board and train is 14 days because even with the most gnarly dog, I can typically get it under control in those 14 days. Some dogs, it only takes 3 or 4 days to get them to where they're doing everything.
Yep.
But even the dogs who are the gnarliest, I'm still not going to tell you it takes more than 14 days because I'm going to include that time, whatever it takes to get that dog where it needs to be. I've never had a dog stay more than 3 weeks, but there's some days where on that 12th or 13th day, I'm like, damn, we should have accomplished more than this already, And it's just that dog is holding on, trying to see if it can get away with it. And by that 16th or 17th day, all of a sudden the dog just snaps and it's like, okay, I'm with the program now. I'm ready to do what you want to do.
And the other thing people argue with me about, I said, I'm not the type trainer. And there's trainers out there that'll do it. Work your dog a half hour, an hour.
No.
Well, a half hour, an hour. 20 minutes. Look I tell my people, if he knows all the commands, work him heel, sit, down, stay, come. If he does it right, heel, sit, down, stay, come. Free dog. He's done. Right. Short victories, short periods of time. 2, I tell all my people when they're first working their stays, do not work this dog over 2-3 minutes.
Yep.
Period. And I'll tell you what, boom, boom, boom. Man,
build that attention span.
They just grow.
That's right.
Exactly.
But why work a dog till you're correcting? You blew it. You should have ended it on a goddamn high note at 3 minutes. You did everything right. All you did was put positives in that dog's head.
Yep.
There's a lot of trainers. Well, you got to be alpha this and you got to do this and you got to do this. And they use these big, long damn words. I ain't like that, as you people probably know.
Yeah.
I train a dog. That's what I do. I'm going to teach you the same way. I'm going to instruct you the same way I talk. Mm-hmm. If you don't like it, find another trainer. And I will not give damn cookies. Dog walks next to you 5 steps. Good. Good heel. Here's a cookie. Give me a man.
Little Kimmy, who I just had out there, Jack Russell. And Jack Russells, as you know, they're super smart.
Jack Russell Terriers.
Huh?
Jack Russell Terriers.
Yes, and they're super stubborn. So this she told me it was an elderly woman that owns her, and she had her trained before, a 2 week program, whatever, but there was really no follow up lessons. And this dog is, she's, I have her here for a week because I did some lessons at home, and she's having some housebreaking issues. But the name of the dog training company she used is on this leash. So I looked up the company, went to their website. Guess what I found?
What'd you
We're
find?
in PetSmart doing commands with these dogs with treats for every little thing. Let's give a
Yeah,
treat for every little thing. I'm
yeah.
just like,
No,
no
no.
wonder she's waiting for the treat. So I'm trying to get her to
Yeah,
not, and it takes her probably a couple seconds to do a sit because she's sitting there waiting, and I'll sit there. I really feel when dogs, and Bob, you've hit on this, and I think Brian, you have too. When they make the decision, it's a stronger decision instead of us forcing them to do it.
That's
So
right.
right.
even with fear, I had a little Lhasa Apso years ago that this dog was afraid, and she was aggressive. So we had to have a fake hand to
Oh
pet
yeah,
her because she would just, and I had her at my house for 2 weeks, so I would bring her out and have the leash on her. Whenever I had her out of the crate, she had a leash on her, and I would just sit down. And if I didn't try to touch her, she would coexist. And then one day, like you're talking about, that one dog just crawled into your lap. She did the same damn thing,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay,
A
I'm just
dog,
gonna.
Where's the fake hand at? I
even
need the fake hand.
even your aggressive dogs, you know, if you ignore them and don't show them nothing, you cannot rush.
Right.
You cannot
It took
rush them.
5 days.
They have to make friends, even if they're smelling your leg. Don't try to touch them. Don't try to reach out to them.
Let them feel comfortable.
They've got to build their confidence on their own.
Twitter
You, and I'm
knows.
telling every trainer out there, no, you, through obedience, you'll build confidence. But the inner confidence in the dog to making friends with people,
Comes with
the
time.
dog has to do it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dog has to feel comfortable. You try pushing it, and all you're doing is making matters worse. Back to consistency in no matter what type of dog we're working, whether it be a fearful dog, an aggressive dog, a strong willed dog, a leash reactive dog, no matter what. If you try one method and you say, well, wow, that ain't working, I'm going to try this. Well, that I'm going to try this. You're
Yeah,
not being
that's what you got.
consistent. And now I'm going to throw it back on the owners. It's real funny when we're there, we catch it. And they'll tell the dog to sit, let's say. I'm just going to give a command, sit. And dog don't sit. Nope, gets a leash correction, sit, and the dog sits. But then when you say, all right, go over there and work the dog, and you'll catch them, sit, sit, and
Sit,
then
sit,
they'll
sit,
give a
sit, sit.
correction on the third one. And it happens to everybody.
It
You
does.
got to get on that owner's butt
Yeah.
Hmm.
and say, I'm going to tell him once. And if he don't do it and he knows it, he gets a correction for it.
I know I've got customers watching this tonight just laughing about that because yeah, I'm gonna ask you, what did you do wrong?
Yeah.
And 90% of the time they're able to come back and be like, I told them twice, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
They
got to be
catch their
consistent.
own mistakes.
You've got to teach them to catch their own mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a decent trainer
Yep.
because we care about our clients, not the dog. Of course, we care about the dog,
Yeah.
but we got
It's
to
their
teach the
relationship
owner.
that we care about.
Exactly. Exactly. And we catch clients all the time making mistakes. All I can say is if you're a dog owner and you're watching this, things are not going to change overnight. It takes patience, it takes consistency, and it takes diligence. And if you don't have time for that, the dog shelters are full of pets that people can't have. Then they think, well, this dog I can't handle, so I'll get another dog. And they do the same thing. What are you going to do? And what you're basically doing is hurting the dog. The dog is establishing a home finally, and then 3 months later you give them up, or a
Kick him
month
out.
later you give them up, or
Yep.
2 weeks later. So the dog starts getting settled, and then he's back to square one again. Think about the dog.
The more we talk about this, the more it's starting to sound like my teenage years.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
glad my parents didn't give up on me.
yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
I don't have anything else to say. I got one more thing to say. Anybody in Lake County, Ohio, if you have a dog, if you if you got a little puppy, Hope is fantastic. Primarily pups training in Lake County, Ohio. She's in the Painesville area. That's all I got to say. Cuz I'm busy or I'd train your dog.
Good job, Bob.
Hey, Hope's a great trainer, man.
If she learned from you, she's got to be.
Hope was under my wing for 5 months. 5 days a week. She learned a lot,
Right?
you know.
I can just
So,
imagine the yelling that girl endured.
no, I never yelled at Hope. Me and Hope are buddies. So, all right. That's all I got to say. If you like what you hear, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Brian also has a new website. Go to it. Oh, Brian, and congratulations on the radio spot.
So like that?
Yeah, congratulations on the radio spot.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Margaret, for bringing that service dog up to Michigan.
Oh,
Did a
thanks.
fine job on that dog.
Appreciate
People
it.
were very happy. Great job, you two.
All right.
That's
Thanks,
all
sir.
I got. You guys
Thanks,
have a
Walter.
good evening.
Have a good night, Margaret. I'll see you later,
too.
Bob.
Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget. Help us out.
All right. See you next time.